Yeah, Ash here from All Things Dentistry, the place where we're passionate about sharing those unwritten hints and tips of dentistry. This is probably the biggest game changer I've ever had in surgery. So if you're using these for suturing, and it's got to do with suturing, you know, you're at the end of a long procedure and then you still got to suture. If you're using these, it's going to be a hard go. If you're using these, even probably worse. Maybe not, I don't know. This is what I was trained to use. Needle drivers, you know, the standard lock, not hemostats, but needle drivers. The difference is, there's a bunch of differences, but anyways, these aren't the game changers. These things are. Now, I was very reluctant to even talk about these, and these are Castro Viegos. These are a longer version. These are about 8 inches long. There are a lot of shorter ones that I'm used to using, or seeing anyways, but my perio buddy came in and started talking about these, and I was like, yeah, whatever. Then I used them. Wow, what a difference. And what is the main difference about using these? And yeah, they're more expensive, but I'll tell you, probably gonna speed up your, I can't believe I'm saying this, gonna speed up your efficiency. And the reason why is literally hand movement. I've used them a number of times now, and I'm never going back to these bad boys. So what happens is, when you're suturing, you know, there's lots of little things going on. Lots of frustration, actually, to be honest. Put in the comments below if you know what I'm talking about. So, you know, you're gonna bring, I'm not gonna do a proper technique here. We're just gonna, this is not the point of the video. The video is really to kind of talk about these Castro Viegos. So for whatever reason, if something happens, I'm gonna bring my companion. So if something happens, or if you're trying to move this instrument, it's just moving of the instrument, and, you know, something like chopsticks, to be honest, these are actually cheater chopsticks if you want. But it's so much easier intraorally to be able to maneuver your hand and try to get that suture needle. And I was really comparing it to using these things. And the problem with these is that you really have to move your whole hand and wrist, and then you're locking it a few times. You know, you're doing, here's another, so you're doing hand movements, so really big hand movements, and then you're trying to move your fingers in and out. And then you're locking it. So there's, you know, you lock it, you do the two clicks when you lock it with your suture needle, and then one to release it. This is a lot of wasted energy. And it's not really energy, it's just kind of like frustration, more like wasted frustration. These things, on the other hand, is that you place the suture needle in, and it's really simple to move. Now, there's a whole bunch of different brands on the market. And my perio buddy talks about the different handles and whatnot. These are the ones that he purchased, so I scan them off his desk right now. And, you know, it's just unbelievably remarkably simple. So we're gonna do a couple throws this way, like that, a couple like this. So much easier on a model too, isn't it? Oh my gosh. And then it's just the one click. That's it. This way. And my hand, my whole wrist movement, whole wrist doesn't move. It's just literally my fingers. So one of the caveats with these things is that you can't use larger than, I mean, I'm sure you can get more heavy duty Castro Viegos. Again, they're expensive, right? Maybe get a couple pairs if you're doing a lot more surgery, or you can get cheaper versions. But my experience with cheaper instruments is they don't last as long. And they start to corrode and start to get really frustrating. But you can't use larger than 4.0 needles with these things, because they're going to start bending right at the tip here. I'm assuming they're going to start bending there. But other than that, I don't, and these are the long version, so they're not, little short ones are about like here. But these are good for anterior stuff and posterior. So he tells me anterior. I've only seen the little shorties before he got here. And then, yeah, that was pretty much it. So let me know in the comments below if you've used these, if you've used long handle Castro Viegos. I can't believe after 20 years I finally succumbed to the Castro Viegos. It might actually be worth decreasing your life stress during extractions. Anyways, thank you so much for being here. I'm super grateful you're here, and we'll talk to you soon.